Have you ever wondered why some young women are drawn to older men? Is it the allure of experience, the confidence, or something deeper? Imagine being in a conversation where a young woman subtly asks, "Do you like dating younger women?" It might seem like a simple question, but in reality, it's a doorway to a much deeper evaluation. She's not just curious. She's testing your confidence, emotional stability, and how you view the dynamic of age differences. This video isn't just about answering questions. It's about understanding the psychology behind them and mastering the art of connection. By the end, you'll not only know how to navigate these tricky moments with grace, but also discover how to exude the kind of confidence and authenticity that makes a lasting impression. Whether you're looking to connect on a deeper level or simply avoid common pitfalls, this video will give you insights that most men overlook. Stick around, because the way you respond to these questions could transform not just your conversations, but your relationships entirely. So, are you ready to uncover the secrets behind her questions and become the man she truly desires? Let's dive in. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Do you like dating younger women? At first glance, it seems like a casual question, a playful curiosity. But let me tell you, there's so much more behind those words. This isn't a random query, it's a deliberate move, a subtle exploration. She knows exactly what she's doing. Beneath the surface, she's testing the waters, trying to gauge not just your thoughts but your feelings. What she's asking is far deeper. Do I stand out to you? Am I more than just another pretty face in a sea of youth? This question, my friend, is a powerful bait. She's offering you a golden opportunity to reveal your interest, but with a dash of elegance. And she's doing it with a blend of insecurity and flirtation, a delicate mix that tells you just how much your opinion matters to her. Deep down, she wants to know if you, as an older man, see her as someone special. Is it her vitality, her youthful energy that captivates you? Or does she also bring something more? Her personality, her uniqueness, that truly holds your attention? I can't help but think of Irene, a close friend who mastered the art of this question. I didn't ask it to know if they liked younger women, she once told me, laughing. I wanted to see if they could handle the conversation, if they could meet me at a level where I felt both valued and challenged. Irene used this question as a litmus test, a way to separate the shallow from the genuine. She would say, "The men who got flustered or turned it into a cliché lost me immediately. But the ones who responded with confidence, who could navigate the conversation with grace and depth, those were the ones who stayed in my mind." This is where your response becomes critical. It's not just about answering the question. It's about how you answer it. If you come across as insecure or, worse, shallow, you risk losing a connection that's just beginning to take shape. But if you respond with a mix of honesty and confidence, you can turn the moment into something memorable. Here's the secret: don't brush it off, and don't overthink it. Instead, use it as an opportunity to showcase the depth of your interest. Avoid generic lines like, "Yeah, I love younger women." That's predictable, and it reduces her to a stereotype. Instead, go for something thoughtful, something that reveals how you truly see her. You might say, "What I enjoy about dating someone younger is the perspective they bring, their energy, their curiosity, but also the opportunity to share and learn from each other." It's less about age and more about the connection. Notice how this response does two things. It acknowledges her youth as strength without making it the sole focus, and it emphasizes the bond you're building, the qualities that transcend age. This is what she's looking for, a sign that you see her for who she is, not just what she represents. Now, let's dig even deeper. When a younger woman asks this question, it often stems from a place of vulnerability. She might not say it outright, but she's wondering if the age gap could ever become a barrier. She's questioning if, beyond the initial attraction, you'll be able to see her dreams, fears, and complexities, or if she'll simply be a fleeting chapter in your life. By engaging with her question thoughtfully, you're reassuring her that she's more than just her age. She's someone worth knowing deeply. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. From my experience, I've seen too many older men fumble this moment by trying too hard. They push themselves to appear younger, dressing differently, adopting trends, or forcing conversations that don't feel authentic. But here's the truth. What makes you irresistible to a younger woman isn't your ability to compete with younger men. You can be yourself. She's not looking for you to mimic her world. She's drawn to the calm confidence that comes from a man who knows who he is. Let me share a piece of wisdom that's taken me years to learn. When she asks you this kind of question, she's not conducting an interview. She's initiating a conversation. A dance, if you will. She wants to see if you can create a space where she feels safe to be herself. She's hoping for a connection that feels natural, one where her interests, doubts, and vulnerabilities can be shared without fear. So, next time you hear this question, take a breath. Don't rush to impress. Just be present. Show her that you value not just her youth but her essence, her spirit, her individuality. Because when she feels that you see her for all that she is, not just what she appears to be, that's when the walls come down. And trust me, that's where real, lasting connections are born. 2. What do you think about relationships with an age difference? At first glance, this question seems casual, even harmless. It might feel like just another light-hearted topic to discuss, but make no mistake, when a young woman asks you this, she's diving into much deeper waters. Beneath the surface, she's not simply curious about your opinion on the topic. She's testing something far more profound: your confidence, your worldview, and your ability to navigate societal scrutiny. This question is her way of peeling back layers, revealing the man you truly are. Relationships with age differences have long been the subject of curiosity, fascination, and, at times, controversy. People tend to form opinions quickly about these dynamics. Some are intrigued, others are judgmental, and a few are outright dismissive. When a young woman asks you this question, she already knows these opinions exist. She's not oblivious to the reality that others may view your potential relationship with skepticism or even disapproval. What she wants to know is how you will handle it. Will you stand firm and confident, or will you waver under the weight of societal pressure? Will you own your choices with pride, or will you let the opinions of others define your actions? Let's explore this question on a psychological level. When a young woman asks, "What do you think about relationships with an age difference?" she's not just looking for an abstract answer. She's using this moment to gauge your character. Are you someone who cares more about what others think than about your values and happiness? Or are you the type of man who lives authentically, unbothered by external judgment? Her attraction to you will depend, in part, on how you answer this question and the emotional undertones you convey in your response. Think of it this way. Women who are drawn to older men are often seeking qualities like emotional stability, wisdom, and security. They're looking for someone who has outgrown the insecurities and immaturity that might characterize younger partners. When she asks you about age gap relationships, she's also asking, indirectly, are you the kind of man I can rely on? Can you be my anchor in a world that might question or misunderstand us? Let me share a story. My friend Carmen once dated a man 20 years older. When they first started seeing each other, she couldn't help but feel self-conscious about the age difference. One evening, over dinner, she decided to address the elephant in the room. She asked him, "What do you think about relationships where there's such a big age gap?" She expected hesitation or maybe even a dismissive joke, but his response was calm, confident, and sincere. He said, "I think age is just a number. What matters is the connection we share. If we're happy together, Why should anything else matter? That one response shifted Carmen's entire perspective. It wasn't just the words he used, it was the way he said them, with unwavering confidence and a genuine belief in their bond. At that moment, she felt reassured, validated, and safe. That's the kind of response that leaves a lasting impression. Now imagine a different scenario. What if his response had been uncertain, overly analytical, or defensive? What if he had laughed nervously or minimized her question? That might have planted seeds of doubt in her mind. In relationships with an age difference, confidence is everything. If you falter, it signals insecurity, and that insecurity can quickly erode trust. On the other hand, if you approach the question with a sense of calm and conviction, you create an atmosphere of trust and emotional safety. This question also carries another layer of meaning. By asking about age differences, she's indirectly exploring your intentions. Women who are drawn to older men aren't always looking for casual flings or temporary romances. Many are seeking depth, commitment, and emotional stability. They're attracted to the idea of being with someone who knows what he wants, someone who has clear priorities and values. If your response shows that you see her as more than just a fleeting adventure, it sends a powerful message. You're serious about building something meaningful. I recall another friend, Andres, who dated a woman 25 years younger. In the early days of their relationship, they faced a lot of external criticism. At social gatherings, people would occasionally make jokes about their age gap. One time, a mutual friend teased, "Andres, aren't you worried people think she's with you for your money?" Instead of getting defensive, Andres smiled and said, "They can think what they want. What matters is how we feel about each other." His calm, confident response disarmed the room. It showed not only his emotional maturity but also his unwavering commitment to their relationship. That level of confidence strengthened their bond and helped them navigate the challenges that came with their age difference. When a young woman asks you about age gap relationships, she's also testing how you'll handle the opinions of her friends, family, or colleagues. She knows that not everyone will approve, and she's likely already prepared for that. What she needs to see in you is a man who can rise above the noise, someone who can remind her that what truly matters is the connection between the two of you, not the opinions of others. If you can be that source of strength for her, those external judgments will lose their power. It's important to understand that your response doesn't have to be elaborate. A simple yet genuine answer can speak volumes. For example, you might say, "I believe age is just one small part of the equation. What matters is how we connect, how we support each other, and how we grow together." If we have those things, age becomes irrelevant. This kind of answer shows that you value the emotional connection above superficial factors. At its core, this question is about more than age. It's about compatibility, emotional security, and the ability to navigate challenges together. She's looking for reassurance that you're confident in yourself and in the relationship you're building. If you can show her that you're unshaken by societal opinions and that you prioritize your bond above all else, you'll have passed an important test. In the end, relationships with an age difference require mutual understanding, trust, and a shared sense of purpose. When a woman asks you this question, she's inviting you to show her that you're the kind of partner who can provide those things. And if you can do that, with confidence, authenticity, and emotional depth, you'll not only strengthen your connection but also lay the foundation for a truly lasting relationship. 3. How was your last relationship? This question, while deceptively simple, holds profound significance. When a young woman asks this, she's not merely curious or making idle conversation. No, this is her way of uncovering your emotional depth, your values, and your potential as a partner. It's a pivotal moment where she's testing the waters to see who you are beneath the surface. This isn't just about your past. It's about what that past says about your present and your future. Think about it. When she asks, "How was your last relationship?" she's not looking for a timeline of events or a detailed play-by-play. She's searching for the underlying story, the emotions, the lessons, the scars, and the growth. This question is a litmus test of your emotional maturity. She's trying to gauge if you've truly processed your past and if you're emotionally available to build something new. In my experience, this question is one of the most revealing moments in a budding relationship. It's not about dredging up old wounds or reliving painful memories. Instead, it's an opportunity to show her who you are now because of the experiences you've had. How you answer this question can make or break her perception of you. For instance, if you respond with bitterness or resentment, it signals to her that you're still tied to the emotional baggage of your past. Imagine hearing someone say, "My ex was the worst. She never understood me, and we argued all the time." That kind of response doesn't just paint a negative picture of the ex. It also reflects poorly on the person speaking. It suggests unresolved pain and a lack of self-reflection. On the other hand, a man who can speak about his past relationships with respect and composure demonstrates emotional strength and wisdom. For example, you might say, "My last relationship was challenging in some ways, but I learned a lot about myself and what I need in a partner. It helped me grow and gave me clarity about the kind of relationship I want to build now." This kind of response is powerful because it strikes a balance between honesty and optimism. It shows that you've faced difficulties but emerged stronger and wiser. I remember a story a friend shared about a date with an older man. She asked him about his last relationship, and instead of giving a thoughtful answer, he launched into a tirade about his ex-wife, recounting every argument and grievance in excruciating detail. "It felt like I was on a date with his ex, not with him," she said later. That date, unsurprisingly, was their last. This leads us to an important point. When answering this question, it's crucial to strike the right balance. Be open but measured. Be vulnerable but not overly emotional. The goal isn't to hide your past or gloss over it, but to frame it in a way that highlights your growth and emotional stability. From a psychological perspective, the way you talk about your past relationships reveals a lot about your character. If you speak with bitterness or nostalgia, it suggests you're still tethered to what was. But if you can discuss your past with grace and clarity, it shows that you've done the work to move forward. And this, my friend, is incredibly attractive to women. Here's why. Women, especially younger ones dating older men, often look for emotional security and maturity. They want to know that you're someone who can handle life's ups and downs with composure. By asking about your last relationship, she's evaluating your ability to navigate conflict, disappointment, and even heartbreak. She's trying to determine if you're someone who can offer stability, not chaos. Take, for example, my friend Daniel. He had been through a difficult breakup but had done the inner work to heal and grow. When asked about his last relationship, he responded, "It was a tough time, but it taught me a lot about myself. I realized I needed to work on being more present and understanding in relationships. Now, I feel like I'm in a much better place." This answer didn't just show honesty. It demonstrated self-awareness and growth, deeply appealing qualities. Another key aspect to consider is how your answer makes her feel. A young woman asking this question is also trying to envision her future with you. If your response is calm, introspective, and optimistic, it reassures her that you're emotionally grounded. On the other hand, if your answer is filled with bitterness or unresolved emotion, it might make her question whether you're ready for a new relationship. It's also worth noting that the timing of this question matters. If the relationship ended recently, you might wonder whether you should disclose that information. The answer is yes, but with careful framing. Acknowledge the recency without diving into unnecessary details. For instance, you could say, "I recently got out of a relationship, and while it was challenging, it helped me gain clarity about what I want moving forward. I'm in a good place now." This kind of response is honest but also forward-looking, which is exactly what she wants to hear. The emotional nuances of this question go even deeper. When she asks about your last relationship, she's also testing your ability to handle vulnerability. Can you talk about your feelings without becoming defensive or evasive? Can you reflect on your past without being consumed by it? These are the qualities that set emotionally mature men apart from the rest. Ultimately, this question is not about your ex. It's about you. It's about showing that you're a man who has faced life's challenges, learned from them, and emerged stronger. It's about demonstrating that you're emotionally available, self-aware, and ready to build something meaningful. So, when the inevitable question arises, take it as an opportunity. Speak with honesty, introspection, and a touch of optimism. Let her see that you're not defined by your past, but shaped by it in a way that makes you a better man today. If you can do that, you'll not only earn her trust, but also lay the foundation for a deeper, more meaningful connection. Remember, she's not looking for perfection. She's looking for growth. Show her that you've been through life's fires and come out stronger, and she'll see you as the kind of man who can offer her not just a relationship, but a partnership built on trust, respect, and emotional security. And that, my friend, is what truly matters. 4. How is a man like you still single? Stick with me until the end, because this simple question might hold the key to understanding not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. Before we dive deeper, let me ask, what are you doing as you listen to this? Are you savoring a warm cup of coffee, lounging after a long day, or multitasking on something else? Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, take a moment to truly focus. What comes next might transform how you approach relationships forever. The question, how is a man like you still single? Might seem harmless, even casual. But make no mistake, it's loaded with meaning, curiosity, and even a touch of admiration. It's not just small talk. It's a compliment in disguise. When a young woman asks this, she isn't looking for a detailed explanation of your relationship history or a recount of every missed opportunity. No, what she's saying is, you seem special. I don't understand how someone hasn't already seen what I see. Think about that. Isn't it remarkable that a single question can carry so much weight? It's not just a query, it's a door opening, an invitation to share a glimpse of who you are and what you stand for. But how you respond is everything. Answer too casually or defensively, and you might miss the opportunity to deepen her interest. Respond with humility and self-assurance, and you could create a connection that lingers in her mind long after the conversation ends. Let me tell you a story that illustrates this perfectly. My friend Anna once told me about a man she met who changed how she thought about relationships. He was older, confident, and carried himself with an effortless calm. One afternoon, as they strolled through a park, she asked him, "How is it that a man like you is still single?" He stopped, looked directly into her eyes, and with a soft smile replied, "Because I'm waiting for someone who makes me feel like staying is the only choice." If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Anna told me that at that moment, she felt her heart skip a beat. It wasn't just the words, it was the way he said them, with such intention and depth. He didn't try to explain or justify himself. He didn't come across as arrogant or defensive. Instead, he showed her that he was someone who valued his time and emotions, someone who wasn't afraid to wait for the right connection. That single response communicated so much about who he was, a man who knows his worth, who isn't willing to settle, and who understands the value of meaningful relationships. When a woman asks this question, she's often testing the waters. She wants to know if you're single by choice or if you're someone who simply hasn't had luck in love. She's trying to figure out if you're a man who has standards, someone who values himself enough to wait for the right person, or if you're unsure of what you want. Your response is an opportunity to show her that you're not just single, you're intentionally single, choosing to wait for something extraordinary rather than settling for the ordinary. Think about this. Every response you give tells a story about you. If you respond with a complaint about your past relationships or talk about how hard it is to meet people, you risk coming across as frustrated or hopeless. On the other hand, if you respond with calm confidence, showing that you've used your single years to grow, learn, and refine what you're looking for, you project strength and self-assuredness. Women are drawn to men who are content in their skin, men who don't view being single as a problem to be fixed but as a chapter in their journey. I remember another story, this one from Roberto, a friend of mine who had been single for a few years. When he met someone who intrigued him, she asked him this very question. His answer was simple but powerful. I've had relationships, but I realized I'd rather be alone than settle for something that doesn't feel right. Now, I'm waiting for someone who shares my values and dreams. I'm not in a rush because I know it will happen when the time is right. That answer didn't just showcase his patience. It revealed his clarity and decisiveness. And that clarity, it's magnetic. Women are naturally drawn to men who know what they want because it gives them a sense of safety and direction. But there's another layer to this question that's easy to miss. When she asks, "How is a man like you still single?" she's not just asking about your past. She's also wondering about her place in your future. It's as if she's saying, "Could I be the one who changes this? Am I special enough to be the person you're waiting for?" This question carries an undertone of competition. She's testing the waters to see if she has what it takes to be different from all the others. And how you answer can either reassure her or make her doubt her role in your life. Let me share one final insight. When a woman asks this question, she's also evaluating how you handle solitude. Are you comfortable being on your own, or do you see singleness as a problem? Men who are content with their own company, who don't rely on a partner to feel complete, radiate emotional security. That kind of quiet confidence is incredibly attractive. It shows that you're not defined by your relationship status but by the richness of your own life. Women admire men who are whole on their own yet open to sharing that wholeness with someone else. So the next time someone asks you, "How is it that a man like you is still single?" pause and think about what you want to convey. Maybe your answer is something like, "I'm single because I've learned the value of waiting for something meaningful." Or perhaps it's more personal, like, "I've had relationships, but I've realized I'm looking for a connection that feels truly special, and I'm willing to wait for that." Whatever your response, let it reflect your confidence, your self-awareness, and your willingness to embrace both your present and your future. Because ultimately, this question isn't just about your singleness. It's about the kind of man you are, the life you've built, and the connection you're open to creating. It's not about explaining yourself, it's about showing her that you're someone worth knowing. So take a deep breath, smile, and answer with the quiet assurance of someone who knows his worth. Who knows? Your answer might just be the moment she realizes you're the one she's been looking for. What would your answer be? 5. What do you do in your free time? The question, "What do you do in your free time?" might sound straightforward on the surface, but don't let its simplicity fool you. When a young woman asks you this, she isn't just making small talk. She's not merely curious about how you spend your days or what hobbies occupy your time. Beneath this seemingly casual question lies something much deeper, a subtle attempt to understand who you are as a person, how you experience life, and, most importantly, whether you embody the energy, passion, and vitality she's seeking in a partner. You see, this question is her way of exploring whether you still live life fully or if you've settled into a predictable, monotonous routine. It's her way of asking, do you still find joy in the world? Are you someone who can inspire me, excite me, and share a life of meaningful moments? And trust me, her perception of your answer matters more than you might think. Take my friend Carolina, for example. She once dated a man 20 years older than her, and while the age gap might have raised a few eyebrows, she never hesitated to defend her choice. One day, she told me something that struck a chord. What drew me to him wasn't just his maturity or stability, it was the way he talked about his life. Every word he said made me feel like I was stepping into a world of endless possibilities. He wasn't just alive. He was living. Carolina explained how this man would passionately describe his love for restoring old furniture, how he found peace on weekend hikes, and how he lit up when talking about the novels he read. It wasn't the activities themselves that captivated her. It was the energy, the spark, the undeniable zest for life that radiated from him. With him, she said, I felt like I'd never stop learning or discovering new things. This is precisely what young women often look for in an older man. They're not asking for a long resume of hobbies or achievements. They're searching for that vibrancy, that rare spark that reassures them life with you won't be stagnant. What a young woman fears most is not the number of candles on your birthday cake, but the idea that you may have resigned yourself to a life of comfort zones, routines, and predictability. She doesn't want to imagine a future that feels dull or repetitive. She wants to believe that with you, every day can hold a sense of adventure, even if it's found in the smallest of moments. I remember another friend, Julio, who was in his late 50s and consistently drew admiration from people much younger than him. What made Julio stand out wasn't his looks or material possessions. It was his unshakable curiosity and energy for life. When people asked him, "What do you do in your free time?" he never gave a dry, generic answer. Instead, he'd light up and talk about his weekend motorbike trips through winding mountain roads, his passion for photography, and even his latest endeavor, learning Italian purely for the joy of it. Women were drawn to him not because of these activities themselves, but because of the way he shared them, with enthusiasm, humor, and a sense of wonder that made it clear he hadn't lost touch with the excitement of being alive. This is the kind of energy you need to channel when answering a young woman's question about your free time. It's not about impressing her with grand adventures or expensive pastimes. Even something as seemingly ordinary as gardening, trying out new recipes, or experimenting with woodworking can be deeply attractive when described with genuine passion. The secret lies in how you communicate it. Show her that whatever you do it with joy, curiosity, and a desire to keep learning. Psychologists often point out that as men grow older, many fall into the trap of routine. Over time, they become less willing to try new things or take risks, growing more comfortable with what's familiar. This predictability can become stifling, and it's exactly what many young women fear when they consider dating an older man. They worry about falling into a static routine where there's no room for growth, spontaneity, or excitement. By contrast, a man who continues to challenge himself, explore new interests, and embrace change becomes a beacon of inspiration. He's someone who proves that life doesn't have to grow dull with age. It can become even richer. Let me emphasize something crucial here. You don't have to lead a life of extreme adventure to captivate her. You don't need to be climbing Mount Everest or skydiving every weekend to show her that you're alive. What matters is your attitude. Whether it's reading a new book, learning a new skill, or finding joy in simple pleasures like cooking or playing an instrument, the key is to share your enthusiasm. And don't underestimate the power of humor. A light-hearted response can break the ice and show her that you don't take yourself too seriously. For example, saying something like, "Lately, I've been trying to bake sourdough bread, but I think my oven hates me." It turns every loaf into a brick, can show her not only what you're up to but also that you're approachable, fun, and easygoing. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. When she asks, "What do you do in your free time?" what she's asking is this: are you someone who can enrich my life? Can I imagine a future with you that feels exciting, fulfilling, and meaningful? This is your chance to show her that despite the years you've lived, your passion for life remains intact. Let her see that you're not only independent and self-assured but also curious, adventurous, and willing to step outside your comfort zone. Remember, it's not just about impressing her. It's about being authentic and showing her the real you, the man who still has dreams, goals, and a deep appreciation for the beauty of life. And when you do this, you won't just capture her interest. You'll inspire her to see you as someone who can bring something extraordinary into her world. Because at the end of the day, what a young woman truly desires in an older man isn't just wisdom or experience. It's the reassurance that life with you will be anything but ordinary. It's the promise of shared laughter, adventure, and the kind of connection that keeps both of you growing together, no matter what the years may bring. So the next time she asks you, "What do you do in your free time?" don't just give her a list. Give her a glimpse into your soul. Show her that you're a man who still believes in living fully, exploring deeply, and loving wholeheartedly. And believe me, that kind of man is unforgettable. 6. Doesn't it bother you to date someone much younger? This question is not as straightforward as it seems. At first glance, it might appear to be a casual inquiry, a light-hearted exploration of your thoughts on the age difference in your relationship. But in reality, this question holds much more weight. It's a carefully disguised test, one designed to gauge your confidence, emotional stability, and the authenticity of your connection. When a young woman asks this, she isn't just curious. She's measuring your reaction to determine if you're the kind of man who can handle such a relationship with grace, poise, and self-assurance. Let's take a step back for a moment. Imagine you're at a dinner, just the two of you, enjoying an evening filled with laughter and connection. Then, out of the blue, she asks, "Doesn't it bother you to date someone much younger?" Time seems to slow down as her words hang in the air. How you respond at this moment will set the tone for how she perceives you. Not just now, but in the long run. You see, the age gap in a relationship can often feel like the elephant in the room. Society loves to judge, to impose its own set of rules on what relationships should look like. The real question she's asking isn't about the age difference. It's about your ability to stand firm in the face of those judgments. Are you secure enough in yourself, in your choices, and in your relationship to ignore what others might think? Or will you crumble under the pressure of outside opinions? I remember a close friend of mine, Claudia, who once confided in me about her experience dating a man 25 years older. At first, the age gap didn't bother her. She admired his wisdom, his stability, and the way he brought a calm, steady energy to her life. But there was always that lingering question. How would he handle the inevitable judgments and whispers from others? She was deeply nervous about whether he would falter under the weight of society's scrutiny. One evening, as they talked about their relationship, she asked him the very question we're discussing. "Doesn't it bother you to date someone much younger?" His response was simple but powerful. "Not at all. I love being with you, and that's all that matters." Those words were like a balm to her insecurities. They reassured her that he wasn't just tolerating the age gap. He was embracing their relationship fully and without reservation. That confidence, so steady and unwavering, made her feel safe, valued, and truly at ease in their relationship. But not everyone responds this way. Unfortunately, I've seen men stumble when faced with this question. Some become defensive, over-explaining why the age difference doesn't matter. Others awkwardly joke about it in a way that only highlights their discomfort. These responses, while perhaps well-intentioned, often do more harm than good. They suggest a lack of confidence and self-assurance, which can make the other person question the stability of the relationship. Now, let me share another story that perfectly illustrates the power of confidence in these situations. Years ago, I met a man named Alberto, who was in a committed relationship with a woman 2 decades his junior. Alberto had a quiet strength about him, an aura of calm that made people take notice. When I asked him how he navigated the inevitable questions about their age difference, his answer was unforgettable. "I don't navigate them," he said with a smile. "I don't give them power. The only thing that matters is how we feel about each other. If we're happy, the rest is just noise." His approach was brilliant in its simplicity. By refusing to let outside opinions dictate his feelings, Alberto created a safe, judgment-free space for his partner. She didn't have to worry about how he felt about the age gap because he made it abundantly clear that it wasn't an issue for him. His confidence rubbed off on her, and she began to see their relationship not as something to justify but as something to celebrate. This is the mindset you need to adopt when faced with this question. Your response should exude calmness, confidence, and a touch of humor. For example, you might say, "Bother me? Not in the slightest. If anything, it keeps me young and on my toes." A response like this not only diffuses any tension but also shows that you don't take the question, or the age gap, too seriously. It's also worth noting that when a young woman asks this question, she might be seeking reassurance. Age differences can sometimes bring insecurities to the surface. She might wonder if you'll lose interest in her as time goes on, or if you see her as just another fleeting romance. This is your chance to put those fears to rest. Let her know that what draws you to her isn't her age, but her unique qualities, the way she lights up a room, her perspective on life, or the way she challenges and inspires you. For instance, you might say, "Honestly, I don't even think about the age difference. You're such an amazing person, and being with you feels so natural. Age is just a number. It's who you are that matters to me." Responses like this not only reassure her but also deepen the emotional connection between you. And let's not forget the importance of humor. Humor can turn what might feel like a delicate or awkward moment into an opportunity for bonding. Imagine saying something like, "Not at all. Dating you is my secret to staying young. You're my fountain of youth." A playful response like this can lighten the mood and show that you're completely at ease with the topic. At its core, this question is less about the age gap itself and more about what it represents. Your ability to stand firm in who you are, rise above societal judgments, and create a relationship built on mutual trust and respect. If you can meet this question with grace, confidence, and a sense of humor, you'll not only reassure her but also strengthen the foundation of your relationship. In the end, the most important thing is to be true to yourself. If you genuinely don't see the age difference as an issue, let that truth shine through in your words and actions. The confidence you project will make her feel safe and valued, no matter what the world around you might say. And that, more than anything, is what she's looking for. A partner who can weather the storms of judgment with unwavering assurance, showing her that your connection is worth everything and more. 7. Do you take care of yourself? Now, we come to the final question. A question that might appear straightforward on the surface but carries immense weight beneath its simplicity. It's the kind of question that doesn't just challenge you to think about your daily habits. It forces you to confront something much more profound. Do you take care of yourself? Let me tell you, this isn't just about whether you go to the gym or eat your vegetables. This isn't about how often you visit the doctor or the number of hours you sleep. No, this question goes far deeper. It's about how much you value yourself as a person. It's about the way you honor your body, your mind, and your soul. It's about how you approach life with the understanding that self-care isn't a luxury, but a necessity. When she asks this, what she's saying is, are you someone who respects yourself enough to grow, heal, and thrive? Are you capable of offering her not just stability but a life that's full of vitality, balance, and genuine joy? When a young woman poses this question, she's looking for more than just a checklist of healthy habits. She wants to know if you've built a life that reflects your self-worth. She's asking if you're the kind of man who can show up, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. She's wondering if you've created a life for yourself that you're proud of, a life that shows you've taken the time to invest in your happiness and well-being. Because the truth is, if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you take care of her, of a potential partnership, or of the future you might build together? Think about it. Self-care isn't just about you. It's a signal to others, an unspoken statement about your priorities and values. A man who takes care of himself sends a powerful message. I am worth the effort. I am someone who values growth, balance, and integrity. This energy is magnetic, and it's what draws people to you. On the other hand, neglecting yourself, whether it's physically, emotionally, or mentally, can create an invisible barrier between you and those you want to connect with. When you think about your answer to this question, don't focus only on the physical aspects of self-care, although they're important, too. Expand your reflection to include your emotional landscape. Are you someone who takes the time to address your feelings, process your thoughts, and make peace with your past? Do you seek out meaningful connections and avoid toxic environments? Do you know how to set boundaries when necessary and nurture relationships that add value to your life? These are the layers she's exploring when she asks this seemingly simple question. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. But there's more. When a woman asks, Do you take care of yourself? She's also seeking a glimpse into your self-awareness. Are you someone who recognizes the areas where you need to grow? Are you actively working on becoming the best version of yourself? Or are you stuck in patterns that hold you back? This is your opportunity to show her that you're not just coasting through life. You're intentional, someone who's striving for betterment, and someone who understands the importance of leading by example. Over the years, I've come to realize that self-care isn't selfish, it's foundational. It's the groundwork for everything else in your life, from your relationships to your career to your sense of purpose. And this is why this question carries so much weight. When you're asked if you take care of yourself, it's not just about your habits, it's about your heart. It's about whether you've taken the time to truly know yourself, to accept yourself, and to love yourself enough to prioritize your well-being. When you answer this question, don't try to impress her with elaborate routines or grand gestures. Instead, share what's real for you. Talk about how you've learned to embrace balance in your life. Whether it's through exercise, mindfulness, meaningful conversations, or simply taking time to reflect and recharge. Be open about the ways you've grown and the lessons you've learned along the way. Authenticity is what truly matters here. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. And let me tell you something I've learned through my journey. A man who takes care of himself stands out. He's the kind of man who exudes calm confidence, who carries himself with quiet strength, and who attracts others with his sense of inner peace. Women are naturally drawn to this because it signals that you're someone who can handle life's challenges with grace and resilience. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. And that's the kind of energy that makes a lasting impression. So here's what I want you to take away. This question isn't just about her trying to assess you. It's an opportunity for you to assess yourself. It's a chance to reflect on your journey and to recognize the areas where you can continue to grow. Every time you're asked something like this, remember, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. The most attractive thing you can do is to be yourself, authentically, unapologetically, and confidently. Just focus on enjoying the moment, connecting with her, and showing her the man you are, not through words, but through your actions, your presence, and your energy. In the end, the key to answering this question lies in one simple truth. The better you take care of yourself, the better you can care for those around you. This is what creates true connection and intimacy. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present, being intentional, and being open to growth. And trust me, that's what will make you unforgettable. I'm Celia, and I want this space to be a sanctuary, a place where we can have honest, heartfelt conversations about life, love, and everything in between. Together, we'll explore what it means to live authentically, to build meaningful relationships, and to create a life that's rich with purpose and joy. Because at the end of the day, every small change we make within ourselves is a step toward deeper connections with others. And that, my friend, is the greatest gift we can offer to ourselves and the world. So, what have you learned from this journey of self-reflection and growth? Out of all the insights shared today, which one truly resonated with you? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Take a moment to comment below and share one thing you've learned that you plan to bring into practice in your life. Your voice matters, and your experiences can inspire others who might be walking the same path. Let's create a space for wisdom and growth together. If you found value in this video, please take a moment to leave your comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for being part of this incredible journey, and we can't wait to see you in the next video. Glowing star. Like, share, and subscribe now. Raising hands.